What's going on, guys? Tony from the Play Den. I just wanted to take a quick couple of seconds and talk about the big news in the last couple of days, which is the Warhammer 40K a big FAQ. It seems like there's a lot of salt in the air if you live by the sea about what's going on and all the big changes that have come out in this FAQ. So I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about it. Usually I would do a video, but by the time I get it edited and posted and everything, and then most people are going to already be kind of done with it. But welcome. This is going to be the big talk real quick about the big FAQ. So honestly, I don't understand what all the salt is. There's been a lot of conversation about making organized play for Warhammer 40K better, making it more fair across the board and making it more acceptable to everybody who's playing it, and kind of getting rid of the power gamer cheater kind of way of doing things. So I'm going to make some comparisons here with a big popular game that's kind of got organized play down pat, which is the Magic the Gathering, right? So Magic the Gathering does organized play really well. It does its tournaments really well. It gets a ton of people to their tournaments in order to promote their game and make money, and there's a pro tour and all that stuff. And I've seen a lot of talk about Warhammer going to some kind of a pro tour, and I think this FAQ and what we've been doing lately is kind of the start of that. So addressing the number one, right, you can't take more than 3 or 4 of the data sheets in your army. So the Plague Burst Crawler spam list where he had 9 Plague Burst Crawlers, that's done for organized play. Same comparison to Magic the Gathering, right? You can only play 4 of those cards in your deck to make sure that it's fair for everyone across the board, and there's some variety in your deck or some variety in your tournament list. I think how I feel about Typhus after the Poxwalker culture change, I think that's going to be an effect, but I don't think it's going to be a huge effect, because how many people are really having an opportunity to put that many more models on the board? There's that one bloom list that's out there. We'll talk about that in just a minute on the actual death card stuff. But more along the lines of, so the Plague Burst Crawler, like I said, you can't spam that anymore. I do definitely like the battalion numbers being changed from that you getting the more points for taking a battalion and more points for taking a brigade. I think that's going to influence a lot of people to have a more varied army and take that battalion instead of a bunch of detachments. I think that these are great changes to what's going to develop into organized play. And remember, for the people that are getting salty, or the people who own 9 Plague Burst Crawlers, you don't have to do this, right? You can go and you can play your own games. You don't have to go under these new rules. Obviously, they tested the Smite rule. I think that was a great idea, and now it's an actual rule. It's no longer beta. The tactical reserve rules, where people were getting upset about the Alpha Strike. The Alpha Strike coming in and everybody deep striking in and taking your army out before you even get an opportunity to get past turn 1. These are things that are going to make the game more playable. They're going to take things out of the game that make it unfun and unfair for everybody involved. So when you want to watch, when you watch a ITC championship, or it's on Twitch, or it's a stream, do you want to watch a game where the guy's playing 9 Plague Burst Crawlers, or do you want to watch a game that's competitive and fair and people are drawn to it because of the stylized and tournament play that they're doing? I think that the saltiness here, I'm not sure where it's all coming from, because this is what you guys wanted when we were in 7th edition, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, this game's gone down the tubes, it's terrible. There's no fun in it anymore because of all the rules and all the cheating that goes along with it. So now they are trying to really get involved with making it fair for everyone, and I think that this FAQ does a good job. So tactical reserves is out, right? You got to make sure that you can't bring those in past outside your deployment zone until turn 2. They've changed up the Battle Brothers rule. I think that's a good rule. It's going to control the armies a little bit better. I got it in front of me, so if you can hear the papers moving, I'm just kind of going through it real quick. Organized events again, number of detachments, up to 2 per army, or excuse me, the number of times each data sheet can be included. 2 per army for up to 1,000 points, 3 per army for up to 2,000 points, and 4 per army for up to 3,000 points. I think that's a good thing. I think that's going to control the armies and make sure that you have more variety in your detachments. Now onto the Death Guard specific. The Plague Bloom, obviously that list has been going around for a little bit. I don't think it's that big of a deal though. I mean, how many? I know that list made a ton of dudes, and it went well beyond what you already had points wise, and that was kind of the reason for it being so good. But making sure that you control that, I agree with you, Nick. It is all good. You just have to go with the flow. Being able to control the amount. I mean, should you really be able to put models onto the board that are outside of whatever point value you're playing with? So if you're playing somebody at 2,000 points and they brought a 2,000 point army, should you be using some way or stratagem of bringing models in outside of the game? And again, back to the Magic the Gathering comparison. Can you go outside of your deck and bring in cards that are going to be a game changer to you? You can't. I think that these rules and the way that Games Workshop is going about changing things is a good thing. It's controlling the game. It's making it more approachable for everybody. It's making it more playable for everybody. And quite frankly, I think it's a step in the right direction to more organized tournament play. So the problems with organized tournament play in 40K is, one, obviously it's easy to get away with stuff when you're measuring and you're dice rolling and you can't cover everything and there can't be a judge watching every move that you make at the table. So that's where some of the drawbacks are. When you talk about other games, they're very strict when it comes to the rules. They're very strict when it comes to, and the game just kind of takes care of itself. Computerized games, obviously you can't really make mistakes on computer games. But in this game, there's a lot of ways to intentionally or unintentionally make mistakes. And I think this is where they're going to start addressing some of this in a move to making organized play open for everyone. And for those people that are getting salty over the FAQ, you don't have to play these rules, right? If you have an army and your friend has an army, and you guys can make up rules and play whatever you want. This is more for tournament and organized play. So if that's something you're interested in, and you're interested in the ITC rankings, and you're interested in what the meta is and what army is doing the best, this is where you want to pay attention. Give me some feedback on what you guys are thinking here. I'm not going to go on very long about this. I don't have a whole lot of salt about this. Like I said, I think that these are good changes. I don't understand where all the saltiness is coming from. I get people who have spent a bunch of money on models that they can't really play with anymore at the ITC level. That's okay. Sell your models on eBay. Somebody else wants Plague Burst Crawlers. I get it. You can play however you want at your own house or even at your own LGS if you and your partner, if you and the person you're playing with agree on what you want to do. But this is more for the tournament play, and I think that this is going to make the game more watchable and more fun and easier to play for people that want to do tournaments. So I'm going to end it there. This is my first time going live. I appreciate the feedback, and I appreciate you guys watching. Obviously, this will go up on my video, on my channel. I'm not sure how it's going to turn out, but thanks, Nick, and I will talk to you guys later.